Hi, I'm April PVD, and I'm here to talk to you about being single and sober. Two things that seem to not have a lot in common, but they really do. The path to both of them, the ways to deal with them are very similar, and it can lead to a happier, better you. Hi, Good morning. Oh, wow. Good afternoon. I've had a full day. Ooh, full day. Oh, no. Shoot. The cosmetic thing is going on now. I'll be back. I'm gonna do my blood pressure and I'm gonna go join it. Wait, before I do. Oh, let me go ahead. Well, before I do it. It might be 4. I thought it was 2, but one day I thought it was 2 and it wasn't 2. It might be 4. It is. It's at 4. Okay, good. It's at 4. So let me set a timer. Alright, let me get back into my comfortable position. $108.78. I think I'm gonna spend a week going back. I was alternating my blood pressure medicine, but I may go back to doing it every week. I debate on how I'm sitting because I know this emphasizes my gut, but this is very comfortable for me. So, I don't know. Anyways, I don't want to do a long one this morning. Alright. Hi, this is April PVD. I'm living single, sober, and small, and I am enjoying my life in a way that I never thought I could. When I retired last year, I was already single for a while, but I wasn't living small and I wasn't living sober. And now that I'm living all three, it seemed to be the right combination for me. So I just wanted to talk to you this morning, or this afternoon. It's already afternoon. I've had such a full morning. I got up and we went for a walk. My walk today was to go to Pedestrian Bridge and take some 360-degree photos and videos. I'll drop some in right now. So, shows me standing out on the pedestrian bridge, Providence in the background. I have a full sky, the sun, there's that bridge back there. Now I just want to show you what it would look like without me being in the home. So I can go into my skybox VR viewer. And this lets me look at my images. And this was the first one from the 19th. I think it was this one. Yes. So there is the GoPro that took the video. You can't see the whole device. Oh, shoot. Sorry, my bad. I forgot to. This was done with my old. Oh no, this was. Wonder why it's so bad. But anyways, let's stop this. Go back. Huh. No. Oh, they're the smaller files? And to actually this must, but it's on a tripod. Yeah, this must be with my other camera. Yeah, look at the numbers. All right, let's go back to the files. This one, and let's pause it so it doesn't play. So the camera was taking 18 photos, and it takes a perfect 360-degree picture. I love this so much. And when I get it just right, it's just the most wonderful thing. Of course, you know what my next big purchase, well, I don't know. Well, first, the Quest 3 coming out next month. But I can also buy for $600 a VR. Oops, what the heck? Stop. I can also buy for $600 a VR camera that will actually take videos. Now, I have a VR camera that takes videos, but the videos are of not good quality. In fact, I will show you. It was amazing. The walk out there was nice. I took a different route than I normally would. There are always several different ways to get anywhere in Providence, and some of them are more more pretty than others. So I took the scenic, that's the word I'm looking for. Some are more scenic than others. So I took the more scenic, but still a direct route. It was nice. It was interesting to try to take those videos and the 360-degree shots, because, it would be nice if no one was in them. But it is a public place, and it's also a place where a lot of tourists come because it's beautiful. The view, you saw it, the views are amazing. And I had a really good time there. I spent a lot of time there. Let's see, I was gone for like almost 3 hours. Let me check I do my Fitbit tracking. So according to Fitbit, made a nice little map. I love doing that. According to Fitbit, I was gone for 3 hours and 45 minutes. It says I walked 7.14 miles and over 11,000 steps. It was good. It was a good walk. I walked out with Vija most of the way. Although, no, she walked all the way to the pedestrian bridge with me. Then when I went to go in Trader Joe's, I put her in the stroller. And we went to Trader Joe's, which is a unique shopping place. I did get the main things I needed. I got a green pepper and some mushrooms. And then I also picked up a box of chocolate ice cream, mini ice cream cones, and some milk. And then I went to play Powerball. And then we walked up Wickenden Street because yesterday, or the day before yesterday, one day when I was out, the day they were working on my HVAC, I lost my shades. So I went up Wickenden Street thinking I might pass some places that had shades. It was very nice because I had a lot of memories of Wickenden Street. David and I, a friend of mine who passed away, used to go there for breakfast sometimes. And one of my therapists was on that street, and she was really good. She was really good. Tell you, a good therapist can shake out some stuff in your head and make you think about things. And I passed a place where my ex-husband had lived, and at one time he wanted me to move in as a roommate. I almost did, except they didn't have air conditioning. I'm sorry, I cannot deal with a window. I hate to sound like a snob, but I can't deal with a window AC unit. You take it out, you put it in. When I lived downtown, it was almost hard on me when the AC unit had to be changed over from heat to AC, so you only had AC when they told you had AC. I have on-demand AC or heat. I could turn the heat on right now if I wanted to, or turn the AC on in the middle of the winter, so that's why I really like living here, and I don't think I'm gonna move anytime soon. I called this my forever home. They keep raising the rent. Just gotta save up and live small. If I live small, I can afford this place. Like this balcony. I love this balcony. And I don't want to give that up. So, yeah. So that was a very, very nice walk to Wickenden. Then we went to Hope. And then I didn't realize, so there was one side street on the bottom of Wickenden. So Wickenden and Hope must come together. Well, no, Benefit Street and Hope must come together, because when I went to go up Wickenden Street, and I'm thinking, okay, well, I'll cut over to one of the other streets. There was no other street until I went to Hope, so I actually went up further than I needed to go. There was another side street at the bottom of Wickenden that I could have cut over, but I wanted to look for shades, and I didn't find any. I did find a pair of shades on Thayer Street, and I did a Pokemon route while I was doing that. I'm doing all these little things, and they are silly things. Pokemon Go is the most silliest thing ever, but it gives me something to focus on and to remember, because I have 3 characters, and it connects me with other people. I have friends all around the world who I play Pokemon with. In Germany, one of my nephews went to Iceland, and he sends me a Pokemon every day from DC. But when he went to Iceland, he sent me Pokemon from Iceland, and I made sure I had open slots for eggs so that I could incubate, or could receive an egg from him and incubate a pet. It's just kind of neat. It's just a fun, silly thing. Although yesterday, and I'll put a picture here, one of my friends in Tennessee sent me a poke stop that was of Civil War monuments in Tennessee. I don't know. I mean, she knows that I am a person of color. The text for the actual poke stop said that they didn't know, they couldn't see the writing on it, but they knew they were Civil War. Well, it's Tennessee. Is anybody in Tennessee going to put up a monument to the North, the winners? So I hope I didn't offend her, but I sent back a poke stop that I got from the east side that was the graves of 3 slaves. I can read the. Give me a second. It says the Pokemon stop that says 3 female slaves, Phyllis, her daughter Honey, and granddaughter Rosalaire, are memorialized in this colonial-era cemetery. It is very unusual for slaves to have gotten this recognition with a headstone. So I just thought that was interesting, and it gave me a satisfaction for getting, a Civil War era. I mean, she has to know that we are in the process of trying to understand why we still have monuments to the South when they were the losers. Anyways, that was interesting. So we walked all the way back. Maisha got out a couple of times. I walked past a neighbor who had given me this elephant plant that I've got growing over here, elephant ear plant, which I love, and it's growing nicely. I stopped to show her the picture, and they're an older couple that's been here for years and years, and they wanted to, they were surprised that I walked so far, but I'm retired and I want to walk while I can, and there's a lot of culture and a lot of pretty things to see in Providence. And they asked about Maisha and the stroller, and I was told that we walk. Well, when I came upon them, I put her back in the stroller, and she just laid down. She was so good. Sometimes when I'm with people or people are talking to me, she can get either bored or aggressive, but she got back, she laid down in the stroller, and I said, I walked her, but a couple of times, I noticed she wanted to get out, so when I had her in the stroller, I had taken her out a few times, and then she rode the rest of the way back, which was nice, because I don't play music or anything when I'm walking her, because I want to make sure I can give her my attention. I sometimes see people who do that with their kids. I was like, I don't know. It's just not a thing that I do. But when she's in the stroller, and she's especially laying down, I feel like it's comfortable enough that she's fine. But I can also hear her, and but I'm only listening to an audiobook. I'm not listening to music. So the audiobook is not blocking out my ability to hear her. And when I hear her whining and stuff, I usually take her out. Sometimes it's because she has to go to the bathroom. Sometimes it's just that she wants to get out and stretch her legs. And I'm like, okay, the stroller is for your benefit. It's not your cage. It's not your prison or anything. I'm not like locking you up. Although, one of the really good benefits of putting her in the stroller is that I can move a lot faster. While she's in the stroller, she's laying down. When she's out of the stroller and I'm pushing it, or even when I'm just walking with her, she does have to stop and smell this and pee on that. And so it's, sometimes I want to walk really fast and she slows me down. And of course, if we come upon another dog, there's that moment of, are they going to have an issue? Sometimes dogs walk past each other and there's nothing. Sometimes they're owners, and I don't blame them, and I enjoy it when it happens. And I've posted pictures on Facebook several times in the last couple of weeks when she has interacted with another dog, and it's been positive, and that's always good. It's always a good training moment when she decides to embrace or socialize with another dog. But when she's in the stroller, I can just go. I can speed up, and I feel like I get more exercise. I think something just bit me. Oh, okay, maybe not. Sometimes the little biting things around here are really sneaky, and I think they might have been. Anyways, the neighbor was asking, how did I know? I mean, I listened to her, and I mean, there's not too many things she could want. Or maybe she was just saying, Mom, this is a really nice day, and I interpret it as I want to get out of the stroller. I mean, she does sometimes. She has on a couple of occasions when we've been walking and we're almost where we are going to have our endpoint. My routine has been to go somewhere where I'm going to take my 360-degree photos, take out my stuff, sometimes my tripod, sometimes it's just the gimbal by itself, take a few pictures, and then after I pack everything back up, I put her in the stroller and put my backpack on. I usually, while she's walking beside me, I can put my stuff in the stroller, and then when we are heading back and she's in the stroller, I put everything back on my backpack. And that works out really well. So, there were a few times, like when we were at India Point the other day, and I had her up on a little bench, and she was near the stroller. She tried to get in the stroller, but my stuff was in the stroller. So there's ways I can tell that she wants stuff. We also had a discussion about tattoos. It's really refreshing now to see so many people, especially women, with tattoos. I can remember so clearly when in 1980, when I got my first tattoo, and someone said, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you got a tattoo. Why did you do that to your body? You're going to be the only woman in the nursing home with a tattoo." Of course, I'm not. Hopefully I won't end up in a nursing home. But I love my tattoos. I have no regrets. One of the things that the neighbor said, the husband said, they should make it a law that when you get your first tattoo, that it should be temporary, because I was telling him about this one covers up another tattoo. And I don't think that needs to be a law. I mean, let people decide what they want. Yes, there are people out there who have gotten tattoos and they regret it, but there are other things people regret. It's life. I love all my little tattoos. My Horde tattoo, even though I don't play World of Warcraft, and of course my Control Alt WoW tattoo. I love it all. I love my life. I relish in the fact that I'm not drinking. I have alcohol. I have a big bottle of tequila. I have some wine and I have some beer, but I have no desire to when we were on the bridge and when I was walking up Wickenden Street, several occasions people walked by who were smoking marijuana or cannabis. And yes, it is legal, but does anybody think about the secondhand smoke about that? That's even more damaging than cigarette smoke, because if you get enough of it, you're going to maybe have an effect. But I mean, of course, I wasn't getting that much. I tried to keep moving and stayed away from it. But I could relate. You know, there were times when I was smoking that I would have loved to have been able to grab a puff here and there. Although, I didn't like being high outside my house. But I was okay with being drunk. Oh my God. I think about the couple of times I came close to maybe causing a fire in my kitchen. And I'm glad I never did. But I'm also glad that I've stopped drinking. And I stopped driving because I used to have a recurring nightmare of getting in this accident. And it was a green light. And, you know, I used to gun it at green lights. I'm sure everybody does. A lot of people do. But the light turned green. Maybe it had just turned green. You know, kind of can see when something's about to turn red. Some lights have a thing where it turns red and then a few seconds later the other one turns green. But I think in this instance I just took off the minute I thought it was green, and another car was running a red light, or maybe they saw it as yellow and sped through it, and I hit the side of that car. And a young child, a girl, if I remember, well, it was a dream, came flying out and hit my windshield and broke it and landed on me inside my car. It was just a dream, but I've had several dreams that have come true. I used to dream about this refrigerator when I dreamt about this refrigerator my whole life, from the age of 6. That's when I first had the dream, and I can remember this because I was in Connecticut, and I dreamt about it, and the thing that I remember the most about it was that I was looking down at it. So in my 6-year-old mind, it was a miniature refrigerator, and the thing that caught me was this large block of cheese, this large yellow block. At the time I didn't know what it was, but it was a large yellow block. As I grew up, I would have that dream at least 5 or 6 times. As time progressed, I recognized that big yellow package as being one of those 96 slices of Kraft cheese. Those were so wonderful. I remember staying at my cousin's house, and we had come from being really, really poor, and my cousin was a little bit better off, and she would get those blocks, and I would go into the kitchen, sneak in there. I don't know what would have happened if I just asked for one, but I would sneak in there and get a couple of those out of the refrigerator And then I'd go in the bathroom and eat it, and I would leave the wrapper in the trash can in the bathroom. They had to know what I was doing, but it was so good. The Kraft American cheese, processed. But anyways, as I grew up, I would dream about that refrigerator. The thing I remembered also was that the freezer was on the bottom, and the carpet around it was green, and the window behind it showed a palm tree. Like, what is this dream? I would call it, oh man, I had that refrigerator dream again. And then in 1981, I found myself in Okinawa, and I had moved in with, well, it was supposed to be my fiance. We ended up not getting married, but we had moved into an apartment, and the apartments in Okinawa, you had to go out and get your own appliances. You had to get your own stove and your own refrigerator. And so when I was coming in from the airport, somebody stopped us as we were going by and told him that they had to move to a different base, and they heard that you were moving into an apartment, and I have my refrigerator that I had in my barracks that I can sell you. So we managed to go and get that refrigerator. We put it in the new apartment, and then we went shopping the next day at the PX. Got all this stuff, including a big pack of 96 slices of Kraft cheese, American cheese. I wonder why that got called American cheese. If you know, comment why it's called American cheese. I guess because they couldn't call it cheddar or anything else. But then after we got back from the PX and we put everything in the refrigerator, he went and laid down to take a nap, and I went to look at the refrigerator to see what I could cook. And I'm standing in front of the refrigerator, and there it is. There is everything from that dream that I had as a 6-year-old. There is the freezer at the bottom. There's the 96 slices of Kraft cheese. There's the palm tree out the window and the green carpet. I don't know. I never knew what to do with that information. I mean, I've had dreams like that before. Like, I would walk into an office for a job interview, and I would have dreamt about working in that office, and I knew I was going to get the job. But when I started having that dream about the car crash, my only thought was that I had to stop driving. Otherwise, this little girl was going to die. And so that's why I don't drive. And that was back in, I stopped driving in 84. I mean, I probably could drive now and she's safe. But, yeah, that's why I don't drive. And I don't know if the dreams were real or if it was hallucination or whatever, but yeah. So, and I live in Providence and I walk everywhere, and if I need to get somewhere, I'm glad they have Uber, because Uber has been wonderful. So yeah, that's my story for today. I just had my breakfast. The quiche and bagels were perfect. I am going to make my breakfast. That was the last of the 2 weeks of breakfast quiche. So I feel like cooking today, but it's going to be after I do the cosmetic event. Actually, I'm going to go in and cut everything up. I love cutting stuff up. They had the mushrooms that were already sliced, but I love slicing the mushrooms. And I got the green peppers, and I'm gonna shred the I'm sorry, the sharp cheddar cheese. I have American cheese on my mind. And I like the whole meal prep thing. It's very satisfying. I usually do a certain amount and I eyeball it, but I think I'm gonna do extra today and load up my breakfast quiche with I make it with green peppers, bacon, mushrooms, and red onions. So I'm gonna double everything today and make it really, really good. Hi, Eddie. My neighbor. He didn't hear me. These are supposed to be green peppers right here. That's a green pepper. It has the flour and everything, but I haven't gotten any peppers. And there's another one over there. That's a big one. But most of my plants, I'm okay with them just being green. One year I actually got like some cherry tomatoes, and I had string beans. I had a few string beans. Of course, it's not going to be enough for me to like live off of, but I just like having green on my balcony. Right, Maisha? Anyways, I think that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed my little walk and my pictures and my videos. Life is good. I hope it's good for you. I am living the single, sober, and small life. Bye. She's such a good girl.